Hey everybody, welcome to the Chris and Dan Show. Glad to have you here with us. I don't know why
No, we
Dan's
are
shooting at
not.
you. Dan's
Well, we're
shooting at you, I
shooting
don't
at
know
you
why.
to exercise my Second Amendment rights.
Ah, very interesting segue there. You
It's not
see,
a segue. I saw the article
oh, you
before.
did? Okay, okay.
Well, knowing it's from you, it's got to be about guns.
No, it's not about guns.
Oh, okay.
Not about guns at all. It's matter of fact, so,
You are you like two things to discuss and debate: guns and abortion.
so you now looked.
I looked.
Yes, so,
So let
uh,
me hold on before we get into anything. I saw something very interesting on Twitter, and I don't know nobody on Twitter. I get into political argument. I don't get into political arguments, but I watch people argue back and forth on Twitter about politics. I
okay,
enjoy it. Um,
makes you laugh, huh?
yeah, so I saw these left-leaning people saying to some right-leaning people,
Hmm.
name one leftist policy that has been passed. And the people on Twitter couldn't come up with answers.
One left, like in a
One
state or at
leftist policy at the federal level.
federal level, because there's plenty at state level. What
Yeah,
was it?
federal level.
Well, this.
Okay.
So, right,
You want me to share the
19,
screen?
sure. So, in 1973, I believe, right, abortion became federal law, right?
Right, right.
As the Supreme Court justices at that time were very far left, and they said this is a constitutional right, which is by far, by anybody with a, well, I shouldn't put it that way, by anybody who has read the Constitution and has read the Bill of Rights knows absolutely 100% this is the worst Supreme Court ruling of all time, right? Because if you read the Bill of Rights and if you read the Constitution, nowhere in there does it say anything about abortion, okay? And the
Of course,
founders,
they didn't even know what that. They didn't even know that was
I
a
was going to go a step
possibility.
further to explain that, right? The
Hmm.
founders were very intelligent men, I would argue geniuses, and knew that there were going to be things that would arise that they're not making law for in the Constitution. So what they did is they created the 10th Amendment. The second link there, will you just click on that real quick? Let's bring that up.
Yes.
The 10th Amendment. So the 10th Amendment was very ingenious in regards to the founders. It basically states that any, oh, here you go. Let's just read it. Can you read it? Because it's too small for me. It's right there. Scroll back up. Scroll back up.
Oh, this is it?
Right there. That's it. Read the 10th Amendment.
The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution nor prohibited by it to the states are reserved to the states respectively or to the people.
There you go. Pretty
Chris, you're gonna
simple,
have to
right?
translate that for the masses,
Pretty,
or me.
pretty simple. To Dan. Okay, we'll translate for Dan. So what that says is, if we haven't delegated this law or this whatever it is, right? Let's take the Second Amendment, for example. Most people are familiar with that. If we haven't specifically stated that the people have this right, right, or the United States government does not have this, can make laws against this, is what the Second Amendment says. Federal
Yep.
government can't make laws against the individual's right to own guns, right? That's specifically what
Yeah.
it says. So what that 10th Amendment's saying is, if we have not delegated a right to the federal government, either for or against a law or a right of the people, then it falls to the states. The states make the laws in regards to whatever it is that's come up, right? Again,
Okay.
they didn't know, they couldn't tell the future. They knew things would be invented they had no control over, right? So since we can't do that and we don't want to give too much power to the federal government, because once the federal government gets too large, like China, you're going to be ran like a dictator. Each state won't have its own freedoms. So what's great about this country is each state has its own ways of governing itself, and they're different
Right.
from state to state. So you can live in kind of a different country from each state, right? That's what's great about it. So Roe versus Wade,
Yeah,
horrible decision.
that's what I did with moving just 3 hour drive east
Exactly.
from where
Completely
you
different.
are to where
Completely
I'm at.
different country. Completely different country, but same country. Right?
Basically, yeah.
I mean, it is. So that's what the founders they wanted with their constitution, right? That they developed for the whole of the country, which would be the individual states. They just wanted oversight with the amendments, right? The Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
That's just to oversee and make sure that what they felt was necessary for the people, the individual, right? They wanted to make sure those things were granted, right? Freedom of religion, freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, things of that nature. We want to guarantee these things to the people,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's why those are there. But the 10th Amendment, again, just make sure that whatever comes along down the pike, that the people, depending on where they live in what state, will have the opportunity to use this. So another good example of this would be marijuana, right?
Okay.
That's not a great example because it really should be up to the people entirely whether or not they want to use such a thing. But the states can make laws against it, right? It shouldn't be a federal law. There should be no federal law against any drug. If you
Okay.
want to outlaw drugs, it should be at the state level, okay?
Yeah.
Because again, the Constitution doesn't make any statements on this, right? So again, getting back to Roe versus Wade, the Constitution is pretty plain English. If you read it, you can see that there is no mention of here you have a right to kill a baby, right? Or however you look at it. I think it's killing a baby, but if you're killing a zygote, a clump of cells, or removing a clump of cells, there's no mention of that in the Constitution, right? All right, so
Yeah, they didn't even know what cells were.
so in this article, I'm not going to read it, and there's really no. We'll put a link to it on the video, or
Well,
I will, or you will. Somebody
let's
will.
at least share the screen. Hold on.
Okay,
Let's give the
let's share the
people
screen.
something. Give them a gist. No draft. So what's the headline here?
So basically, the Supreme Court has decided to overturn Roe versus Wade. So
Okay.
this has been leaked. Was just leaked like 2 hours ago. Okay.
Okay.
That so I'm sure it was probably somebody left on the court, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that's kind of a leftist that believes in abortion. Probably an aide or something became aware of this and leaked this to the general public. That they're writing a paper right now, the Supreme Court, that they've decided to overturn Roe versus Wade. So the Supreme Court right now is being surrounded by barriers because they expect to be attacked tomorrow, right? Because
By
just
who?
people are going to go by leftists, people, abortion activists, and such. I mean,
So they basically said overturning Roe versus Wade means what?
well, it really means very little. This is where the abortionists get it wrong, at least in my opinion. They think if you get rid of Roe versus Wade, abortion goes away. It doesn't, right? If you read the Constitution, you would understand this as an individual.
So what? Why are they mad then?
Again, because they've been led to believe by MSM, right, that if Roe versus Wade goes away, you lose your right to abortion. That's what they've been led to believe, and they, for the most part, do believe it because they don't get any source of news elsewhere, right? They just get it from the leftist side, right? CNN and
You mean they're not
MSNBC.
watching Chris and Dan show?
No, they're not.
My money don't jiggle, it folds.
Exactly. So
Wow.
what this means is it now becomes up to the state to decide. So there will definitely be states you can't get an abortion. Okay.
But that's how it's always been, no? Or it's not federal.
No, it's Supreme Court. Roe versus Wade. The Supreme Court determined the Constitution states you are absolutely, it's your right to have an abortion. So states had nothing they could say about that. Okay.
Oh, in every state it was legal.
Every state, they had nothing they could do about that.
Gotcha.
Well, I
and
believe
now
it's
it might be illegal in some states.
Well, I believe 20 states, give or take, have already passed, and it's just waiting to be executed. That if Roe versus Wade is ever overturned, immediately abortion becomes illegal in their state. I think it's 20 states.
So I read something about this on Twitter, and I don't know. Twitter is just a cesspool of. Shout out to Elon Musk too for buying it, but it's a cesspool of word salad these days.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody was arguing that said, look, in Texas, it's now illegal if you get raped to want to go abort the fetus, even if you're a rape victim.
So as far as I know, that's untrue. However, well, it's an exaggeration. I believe the law in Texas states that after 12 weeks, you can no longer get an abortion. After 12 weeks of pregnancy.
Yeah, not only that, they were saying the rapist can sue the person who's trying to get an abortion.
That's true. That's true. So
who the hell wants to live in Texas?
So the purpose of that was to stop women from not having a conversation with their boyfriend, husband, fiance, that, hey, I'm going to abort your child. Right? I'm going to kill your child.
So this basically boils down to women's rights.
No. What about babies' rights?
Babies' rights, but nobody's... Yeah, I mean, I guess women's rights overrides that in this case.
But should it?
I don't know. But
I mean, we're not here. I'm not here necessarily to debate abortion.
Yeah.
I was just here pointing out. I was just bringing this up to point out that I think there's going to be some real hectic. There's going to be probably some rioting. I would imagine
tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow, yeah.
Well, good thing I'm just doing a site initiation visit, so my head's in the sand, ostrich style.
Well, you've seen how just crazy people get over abortion, right?
But as a libertarian, don't you identify as libertarian? Shouldn't you be pro-abortion?
Okay.
Pro-women's rights?
So the purpose of has nothing to do with women's rights. So no, libertarian has nothing to do with women's rights. Nothing.
No, not just women's rights, but anybody's rights.
Well, I mean, it does, but really a libertarian is just meant to confine and restrict the government's access to the individual's rights, right? That's the purpose of being a libertarian.
So a woman is an individual, right?
But you're not taking into consideration the baby.
No.
What rights does that person have?
According to that, none.
Right. So, yeah, you're absolutely infringing on that person's rights.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have a dilemma there, right?
Yeah.
So
and that's why there's a debate.
No. So, on the left, they don't think it's a baby, right? Or many don't. They call it a zygote. And the left feels that the baby should be able to survive, right, in order to be considered a baby, right? So,
like, what does survive mean?
Well, survivability, right? In their mind, I believe it means that if a 4-week-old can't survive, right? 4 weeks old, I don't even think you have a heartbeat at that point. I think it's at 12 weeks. That's why Texas passed that law. Once there's a heartbeat, you can't kill it. So, yeah, 4 weeks.
Complex. This is why I don't like talking about abortion. It gets me in such a bad mood.
Well,
why do you do this, Chris?
Well, I
put my money don't jiggle, it folds, and you put this.
Well, okay. So just be prepared that there's going to be some upset societies. Well, I wonder what Arizona will do, where Dan lives here now.
I don't know.
So they're fairly conservative. I don't know how conservative they are, though.
It's a purple. Yeah. Well, we actually voted blue last year.
Yeah, but their local politics, they still voted red. So
yeah, it's all the Phoenix people.
So
Phoenix and Tucson. Where I'm at in Yuma, it's basically red.
Right.
Don't let the blue lights behind me fool you guys.
So I'm curious what
I'm independent. I'm purple. I'm truly purple.
If you live on the west or east coast, you're going to have no problems getting an abortion.
Oh, okay.
Right? Well, because they're leftists. That's absolutely part of their mainstay.
You can get your soy latte with an abortion. The same.
Yeah. Starbucks and abortion clinic, no problem.
Chris, this is very depressing. Can we wrap this up?
So you don't have anything to add other than it's depressing, huh?
I don't know what else to say, man. Honestly, I don't have much of a take on this. Like, I'm a libertarian. I do think that Government should stay out of people's decisions, and ultimately, if you're that baby's parent, if you believe in universal karma, and you're responsible for murdering a life because you're not prepared to take responsibility for your actions, karma's going to get you. But I don't think government should have anything to do with it.
So what you're saying is, just don't have sex if you're not ready to have a baby.
I mean, the universe will find ways to make its amends.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're chalking yourself up for some very negative karma, huh?
Not
If you have an
me.
abortion. If you have an abortion, just you. I'm saying you in general.
Yeah, or do anything bad. But yeah, killing your own child has got to be on the top of that list.
Well, there's a lot of leftist politicians that believe. I don't know if you saw this, but they're proposing that you should be able to kill a baby for the first week after birth.
We reacted to this on this
did we?
channel
Okay.
in California.
Yeah.
Which is just a bill. It's not going to pass.
True. I said politicians.
And so, like, I started with this initial. Help me out here. Name one leftist policy that has passed at the federal level.
I did. Roe versus Wade. Now it's going to get overturned.
Pick another one. That's hasn't. Just pick something else.
There's all kinds, like gun control, right? Those are absolutely leftist, and there's over 20,000 of them. So over 20,000 laws at the federal level against guns. Those are all leftist, all of them, because the Second Amendment is very clear.
But we're still allowed to own guns. One of my neighbors shot a fully auto out here in the desert.
Sure, but
that's not leftist.
Yeah, okay, well, 20,000. wait, I completely disagree.
How?
Because the Second Amendment, again, prior to 1940, I think it was 1940 was last, might have been 1930. You didn't need to be an attorney to be a Supreme Court justice. You needed no prior law experience because the Constitution was written for the general man or woman to be able to read and understand. So just a regular individual should be able to be a Supreme Court justice, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's written to be very, very understandable. Maybe not at an ICF level, right? 8th grade level, no. But somebody...
Yeah, confuse everybody.
Yeah, informed consent people. Informed consent people. It's meant
maybe
to be
Rod
written at a
Raffaelli.
Very minimal education level.
Shout out Monica.
But if you're in the 12th grade, if you made it through high school, you can read and understand the Constitution. Come on. And the Second Amendment very clearly says shall not be infringed. Your right to own a gun shall not be infringed. There should be no laws.
But
none.
Can you
Zero.
What if someone got a nuclear warhead?
Well, they can't.
Handheld.
They can't afford to. Where are they going to get the plutonium? It's never going to happen. But let's just say it did, right? Sure. I'm opposed to that.
Okay, so you agree with gun control on some level?
No, I don't, actually, right? If I had to choose between one or the other, I would take no laws. I'd take none, what we currently have, and risk somebody having a nuclear weapon. I would. I don't want anybody
You're
to have
crazy.
a nuclear weapon.
You're crazy. Don't put me in that world, Chris.
So I just don't think anybody could get them. It's too expensive. You'd have to go mine plutonium or buy it, and it's extremely expensive. Extremely, right?
I think what we really should be worried about is biological warfare.
Yeah, and that's easy to get. And I'm sure you can YouTube how to make
CRISPR,
a biological weapon.
You can YouTube how to use CRISPR technology. You just need a simple lab.
Right.
But getting the virus to survive and be transmissible and deadly is a whole nother thing.
Okay,
that's a tangent.
That's way more concerning to me than a nuclear bomb.
Would that be considered the right to bear arms? Having a biological weapon?
Not by the current definition of the Supreme Court, which I think is kind of off a little bit, but the current definition is anything used by the military should be...
Oh, they use biological weapons.
No, they don't.
Yeah?
NATO has outlawed them. They're outlawed.
Oh, okay.
If you're part of NATO, you can't use biological weapons.
Oh, okay.
And that doesn't mean they don't research them, supposedly so they can find a cure for them.
Well, that's fact. It's called dual use research.
No, I understand.
Gain of function. You're allowed to research biological weapons if at the same time you are also researching a vaccine for it.
Understand that. But what I'm saying is that's not why they're doing it.
Hmm.
Sure, that's what the law says, but it's because the military wants those weapons just in
Yeah,
case.
that's a loophole. It's a loophole.
Yeah.
You think China's not using biological weapons?
Sure. But back to your point, right? It's if the military is allowed to use it, the individual should be allowed to use it as well.
I'm just trying to play devil's advocate and show you that people's limits, because you're
20
okay with your neighbor having a nuclear warhead. I'm not.
Where,
So people draw the line at different places.
but where this start? Well, I think the Constitution is where you draw the line. That's my
Yeah,
personal
but
opinion.
what's their definition is what the military uses. Well,
Shall not be infringed.
shall
Not be infringed. It's really simple to read,
Yeah.
right? Shall
I
not be
know.
infringed. I don't think you can get any simpler than that. You can't
Give
make a
people
law,
an inch, they'll take a mile.
and that's 20,000 laws the left has gotten on gun control.
We'll end on that one, guys. Hopefully you're not depressed. Let us know in the comments what you think about all this stuff. Like, subscribe, comment, share.